Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we are going to give a mono black deck a shot in Explorer. This is kind of an Invoke Despair style deck, saw a shell of it on Twitter and just wanted to kind of tweak it, see how it kind of works out. The MIQ this weekend, the play-in for the qualifier, whatever they want to call it, I finished top 1200 last month, so I get to play in it. It's Explorer best of 1 for the first week and then best of 3 the second week. Probably going to go with mono red. I was able to get to Mythic this month for June in 3 days. Combination of mono red and Explorer and Esper and Alchemy. So we're already in Mythic ladder, so we'll give it a shot. But I just want to kind of try out a couple different decks to see how they play out. This deck's kind of a mid-rangey shell. Lots of removal, Fatal Push, Heartless Act, Grasp of Darkness. They were playing Doomblade, but I don't like it in a Greasefang format, as well as red-black being heavily represented. Sorin's in here for card advantage. They were playing 4 Sorins. I switched to 1 Lulth. Invoke Despair is in here as well. It's just kind of your big top end card to eat away at your opponent's hand. Or like board, gain you card advantage. Trespasser, Steep the Graveyard, along with Agonizing Remorse for both hand and graveyard hate. Thoughtseize, kind of to break apart your opponent's hand. And then kind of your win conditions are like the Invoke Despairs, the Trespassers, getting back your Tenacious Underdogs, meat hooks in a way, Lulth, and then just kind of your creature lands in here as well with 3 Hive of the Eye Tyrants. So I want to give this one a shot, see how it plays out overall, and kind of go from there. I came in at 49 Mythic, but I haven't played much since. So we'll give this a go, see how it plays out. And really what we're trying to look here to see is, is this kind of strategy viable, at least in Explorer best of 1? Is it too slow with all the creature decks? Notably, like, Angels are popular, Mono Red's popular, various Greasefang style. I think there's enough instant speed removal here that's good versus the Mono Blue deck. So we can try to get them on their turn, tap them out, and try to stick an Invoke Despair. Get them that way there. Notably, if they have Curious Obsession attached, they sack at the same time, so you don't get that card draw. But we'll give this a go, see how it plays out. I'm probably going to be downshifted to like Diamond or Platinum opponents because I'm Mythic fairly early, so if there's not a huge amount of Mythic players, that typically happens. But if you're interested in just seeing like what the meta is like for this kind of week, I just recorded those videos. They should be up as well. But hopefully get into a match soon. This is one of the downsides of making Mythic so early, is you have to wait a little bit longer. It's like, you're so fast, so efficient. Now wait a minute and a half for your opponent. We might jump into an event if this is taking too long. We'll see. We'll give it to 2 minutes. If we can't find a match, we'll jump into an event queue. That way it's not as time sensitive or like rank sensitive, and then see how it kind of plays out. But I'm probably going to go with mono red for the events, the one I'm most comfortable with. My shift of, if you're interested, it's using Lightning Strike in there, so it's the creature heavier version with Embercleave Torbrand, but it's also got Lightning Strikes in there for the Greasefang matchup. Alright, so we found a Mythic opponent. I think I might still take this to an event, depending on how things go. This hand's largely too slow. Meat hooks aren't really going to do much at this point in the game. And Sorin's not really doing much either. The one thing in this deck, while we do have the Fatal Push, it's in terms of turning on Revolt is something that'd be interesting to see how often that can actually hit. But I think overall we're going to mulligan this hand. This hand's much better. So we're going to keep 6, and I think we're going to put Underdog back. Okay, so it's mono red, so now I wish I kept it. So here, let's just take their turn 3 play. So they don't have lands, they can stomp. I mean, they can't Torbrand next turn anyways. So it's actually an interesting turn cycle. I still think we just take Bone Crusher. Their hand's a little loose, so they're going to hit me for 2. So if they hit land, they hit Torbrand, they hit me for 4, but I still trade. I don't have a creature in the yard yet to eat. So I think we're just passing the turn here. So if they hit land here, I get rid of the Torbrand. Honestly, I wouldn't mind a land here so I can Thoughtseize and Murderous Rider. Hardcast Bone Crusher. Don't love this. Gonna have to do that. I think we're gonna do this, because if they hit the Torbrand, I can still trade this turn. And I'm happy to do this trade. Jeez, we can't find a land to save our life. Hoping they missed a land there. It's kind of silly. 12 cards in. Finally. It's actually an interesting turn. So I can go to 4, I can Thoughtseize. I can, because they have the Embercleave available. So I think we're just going to go Trespasser here. That takes me to 4. Trade with it. I don't think we can afford to Thoughtseize here. We'll see if they decide to get Embercleave in play or this Den. Interesting. Oh, they're probably just going to crack this turn. So I can Sorin, get me a lifelinker. I think we got to do this. So they can do that. It's probably still Sorin, just make a lifelinker. They can also flash and cleave. but we're gaining some life here anyways, so I'm not completely against this. Torbrand kills me though. But can't play around another Torbrand. If they go after Sorin, I think I let Sorin die. See what their follow-up is. Kumano. And they can Ramanap ruins here. A little annoying just because we lose. I take 2 damage. Probably not, maybe. Now we're going to decline here. No creatures in my graveyard. These Kumanos are kind of annoying because they haven't actually led to creatures being created. So they can pop up ruins here. Brings me to 5. That brings me to 3 if they choose. Bit scary if they have Stomp. Okay, taking that off the board's nice. I'm just doing this to pressure them. So I'm going to do this, and then just be safe and do this. So they could put Embercleave on it if they want. That's 6 damage, but I can Heartless Act it. They need land and another Etchings. We've seen 3 of them so far. That's the only way they kill me here. That should be game. Because I have Invoke Despair as well. They had the monkey. Clear them out. Head goes boom! Okay, so that wasn't terrible. Stabilized against mono red, pretty nice. What I wouldn't mind... So we kind of stumbled a little on lands there. But with like March for life gain, these for life gain, these for life gain, that, it's not terrible, the position. I'm just wondering if these are better served as gifted Aetherborns, but these are just recursive, which I like. Let's run it again and see. It took me like 5 or 6 variations of mono red, about 30 games to kind of get comfortable with my list, so I kind of like to look back each time, seeing what went well, what didn't. Opponent I guess we both kind of missed lands, but they curved out a little bit better after that. Their flood had the utility lands that allowed them to continue pressuring. The lifelink off like Sorin and stuff helped. It was a little risky at that point because we were such a low life total. If they didn't have 2 face-up deserts, we would have just taken the 2 damage to get the Heartless Act that turn. That's the problem. I'm gonna see. We'll play this match. We might just like jump into the play queue to see if it's faster. Being mythic this early is actually a hindrance. While you get like really good quality opponents this early, usually it's people that have grinded pretty hard. You end up just getting these long queue times. Not the most fun. We'll give it to, okay, we found an opponent. Every time I say we'll give it to, yeah, see we getting, it's also just like terrible for your rank because if you lose a best of 1 game, you end up falling so hard. Okay, opponent goes first. We have removal spell, sweeper, and then kind of catch up. So I think we like this. Start with the hive into the swamp. Hand's also pretty good against a Greasefang start. Notably, like just the lack of ability to turn on Revolt is something we have to consider. I don't think it's right to necessarily play fetch like the Fabled Passage in this deck. Like we saw that game, it would have been a tap blind. Okay, so Kumano. That's actually a great draw because it lets me curve into my 3 here. So we were actually hoping they didn't have a BTE drop. Nothing else. Karizev. So we're gonna get rid of you. We're hoping for like a Robber of Rich there. Yeah, that Firebrand. So we're actually going to probably Meat Hook next turn. So Meat Hook lets me deal with both of these. Trespasser, I guess with like a Stomp it kind of works. If we drew another land I'd keep it, but I'm not against the Meat Hook here. It's going to gain me life. It makes my Trespassers better. They also can't Firebrand me to sack in response. They also missed a line drop, which makes it better. Now we feel bad. I think this turn we will play this out. Because they need land and Embercleave. Tap land. Karizev. I think we take the damage here. So they're top decking. They could pump the squad. Could flip this to make it 4. And then it lets me eat more. I could Grasp the Darkness, the Annex. I think I like that. We were hoping to hit a land there. We might actually just Murderous Rider the Annex for mana efficiency purposes. Because they could pump into these castles. So I think we're just going to do this. So I'm doing this before this gets to 4 toughness. Now I can eat their graveyard. We're not even dead to Embercleave here, so I'm not like super worried. I think playing out another 4/4 here that just gains me life also has a lot of utility. And then if we could find a land, I get to play Lulth out. I could block a Den of the Bugbear here. Yeah, that's actually great. So here, I could Fatal Push it, but I don't think that's the line. I could play a 4th here. I can play out the Murderous Rider. Could hold up both pieces of removal. I think I just like going another Trespasser here. Fatal Push could let me deal with the Karizev. If they fire up Den, I can also just deal with Den. Just kill this in combat. And like if they were not playing NX and instead playing Ferocidon, like you should be. Yeah, opponent's head goes boom. The Graveyard gluttons, glutton it up. So look, it seems like it's got a pretty decent matchup into mono red. I think what I want to do is go up a land. We've missed lands too many turns. Go down a Thoughtseize. Probably could go up another Hive. Could go up a Takenuma. Don't think there's like another utility line I necessarily want. Agadeems doesn't do much. I could do Hagra's Mauling. Let's do that. Gives me a utility land in there. We'll do one more, see how it plays out. Because we have 5 drops and 3 4-drops. Opponent goes first. I think this hand's fine. Eat at something, kill something, hopefully drop Lulth. No utility lands, but I don't think we've been on the play in any of these matches either. If we take a look. I probably wouldn't keep this if we were on the play. Yeah, on the draw every single game. So something to factor in these games as well. We were able to beat mono red twice on the draw, which is impactful. Opponent, where'd you go? Everybody on mono red. Okay, this is actually pretty bad now because Heartless Axe not going to hit this threat. And unlike the last game, we don't have... oh, they're burn. Okay, Glutton's actually pretty solid. Okay, so we are going to take the Light Up the Stage as the card advantage spell. See if they decide to go face here. Okay, they do that. It's actually an interesting line. We're probably going to hit the Soulscar Mage here. Yeah, we're going to go Soulscar Mage. Okay, that gets the last piece of burn out of their hand. We are fairly low, so this is going to have to just come in likely as a 2-3. They just top deck another piece of burn. Jeez. Well, that's one way to beat someone. Oh, I'm dead to any burn spell off the top. Or that. Yeah. They drew 3 lands, pure gasoline. And we saw one of the downsides there of the Heartless Act. We really needed to take that that dork off the battlefield. Had they missed for the turn and us being able to invoke Despair would have actually been pretty big. Being able to hit both their threats. The thing is they have so much reach in their deck. Like the Wizard's Lightning's 4 damage there, the Play with Fire's 3 damage, so they just, everything they were doing was amplified. On the play, I think we take that one actually. Just how our hand would have curved out. We probably leave the Light Up the Stage at that point and hit their other dude, because that was what was going to come down. On 2. They go then Soulscar Mage on 2 to take advantage of the Kumano trigger. We can't necessarily kill that though, so then it's probably a different game though, because I don't think they 2-for-1 themselves, but with the extra counter that becomes a 3-4 with Prowess that can attack into my graveyard. Okay, so we're getting the rematch. So let's see how this goes. We good on the play? We're on the play. Cool. This hand's much better. Okay, Soulscar. Okay, so Wizard's Lightning out of the way. March of the Wretched Sorrow is actually pretty solid here. This is going to flip. So we're going to see what they're going to do. I might actually just Murderous Rider this. Because then it lets me play the Rider and Fatal Push the Alchemist. We're going to do this actually. Doing this now because I don't want him to be able to get an extra trigger. Now they either have to 2-for-1 themselves. This is just easier for them to kill. Now we're in a good spot. Okay, they're going to go face here. I do have this as well, which can gain me some life. See Viashino. So I'm actually going to do this. It starts gaining me life. It doesn't get disrupted by a spell here. And then I get to eat this to gain another life and get a drain. That's fine. So yeah, this game's going a lot better when we're not really interacting on turn 4 with the burn deck. This game should probably be over at this point. I got Hive I can start to use. Just kill that, gain a life, activate Hive. I think we just want to close this game out as quick as possible. So Glutton's gonna eat the creature. That's gonna eat that. Didn't even need the march there. They can't kill this. Alrighty, so lots of mono red on the ladder, so Thoughtseize is probably not where you want to be. Gifted Aetherborn could be an option in these matchups. Against the stompier version, it's harder for them to deal with. But overall, 3-1. That third game where they just kicked our ass, couldn't really do much, but back up to 150 Mythic. Let me know what you think of this deck if you've been playing something similar, and we will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.